Hey y'all. So tonight I'm going to be talking about ways to cut meal prep time in half. And so I've got three main points that I'm going to cover. And then if you guys have any questions at the beginning, just let me know in the chat and I'll make sure that I address them at the end. So I'm really excited about this. I've been thinking about it all week long. So I love to meal prep, and if you know me, you know that about me, and I really just love the planning and organizing that goes into it and having fun with it with my family. And every time I talk to someone about it, they seem super anxious and really overwhelmed with the idea of all the things that goes into meal prepping, and they kind of get overwhelmed with all the little details. But it does, it takes practice, right? Like with anything else. It does simplify my life so much though, and I'm really grateful that I've had so many really great friends over the years pour into me with meal prepping. And so I just thought I would go ahead and do this on Katie Live because it has really helped me as a mom, as a wife, but also just to be a healthier version of myself. So I think my very first time meal prepping was with my mother-in-law, Tina Dearborn, and we wanted to meal prep because we had heard all this rage about eating clean, and this was, I don't even know, maybe it was right after Lily was born, so probably 7 years ago. And we got together one Sunday in her kitchen and we went to town, and we had all these crazy recipes printed out, and she had all this stuff laid out ahead of time. And my father-in-law was there, bless his heart, he cannot stand a mess. He was there cleaning up as we were cooking, and it was so overwhelming. And I remember leaving there thinking, whoa, what just happened, right? But then for the rest of the week, my meals were planned, my dinners were thought out, but I realized this is not a sustainable solution for me. So I thought, how can I make this better? How can this become easier? Because I really need this aspect of my life to kind of keep me on track nutritionally, but also it's gotta be easier than this because I can't do this again. So I had to keep in mind that I needed to have simpler recipes. I did not need to try to be this Pinterest person, although I am a Pinterest person. I do use Pinterest. I have all of my recipes saved in a Pinterest thing, like a little place that says food. So if you're ever interested in any of the things that I'm doing, it's usually on there. And I'm a creature of habit, so I've got about 20 recipes that I use habitually. I know them forwards and backwards, and so that kind of leads me right on into it. So my very first point for you would be to really keep it simple, because you could make this as complex as possible, but why? Really why? Because the point of it is to make your life easier and simpler. So if it's not easy for you to make all of these extravagant meals and you wouldn't do it on a normal day, then you don't want to do it for meal prep either. Does that make sense? So I just really when I'm starting all over, because that happens to me a lot. I'll go on summer break, I don't need to meal prep, I'm home all day. Or if I go on maternity leave, then I've been at home, so I don't need to meal prep during maternity leave because I'm home. Well, when I start all over and I need to just get back in the groove of things, I start out really slow. And so I'll do a protein and a vegetable and maybe a complex carb. But before, I just want to say, meal prepping is for anyone. Sorry about my dryer going off and my clock. This is real life. Hello, welcome to my home. But yes, so meal prepping can be for whatever. I see all these memes that are meal prep, my kind of meal prep is a slice of pizza and a to-go box. Well, if that's your thing, you just go for it, right? That's your thing, no judgment here. But so I do this to stay on track nutritionally because, as we all know, nutrition is 80 and exercise is 20. So I want to see results here. I want to feel better. I want to be healthy. And so I want to feel fit and energized, and eating healthier makes me feel better. Just overall, I feel healthy and happier when I'm eating what I should be eating. And everyone's should be looks totally different. So back to what I was saying. So sorry, squirrel. That's just me. Welcome. Yes, so keep it simple. A protein, vegetable. So like, for example, I did salmon. I just do 4 ounces. To keep it super easy, I get it at Sam's in bulk. It's already in the little pre-shrinked packages. I get it unmarinated, but if I'm really trying to be cool, I get it marinated and I cook it by the directions on the back of the box. Like, it is that basic, y'all. And then I always do 2 cups of vegetables just because I really want to stay full for the rest of my day. And I do about 1/2 cup of a complex carb. So I'll either do sweet potatoes cubed and roasted because they stay better that way, or I will do like a cup of brown rice, something like that. So Sarah Barker helped me keep it super simple way back, I'd say probably 3 years ago. So super helpful. Huge shout out to Sarah. It was life-changing. I realized I did not have to make all the cute Pinterest recipes to meal prep. I could literally just prep a protein, a vegetable, and a starch. Like, we're good. Okay, my second point is also back to the first point, snacks. Almonds, fruit, egg whites, you know, simple. It does not have to be, you know, this cute little bento box from Starbucks, you know, or like a Starbucks, you know, mock, whatever, where you have like cheese cubes and fruit and, you know, pretzels and then, you know, all the things. Like, you don't need that. Just a portion size of a thing with some protein or whatever your macros are, because everyone's macros are different. So next point, point number 2, if you're following along, is to bring the family in. Bring them in. Bring in the kids, because they're there, right? Like, this is your home. This is your place. If you've got kids, if you don't, your spouse or your whoever, like your boyfriend, girlfriend. I haven't lived that life in like 10 years. That's right. In July, it's been 10 years. So I don't know what that's like to be single. But if you are, like, whoever you live with, make it a family thing. You know, Lily every Sunday stands on the little stool next to me and she helps me measure. And then sometimes that's too overwhelming for me. I don't want to do that. So I give her a different task, like measuring the almonds. So she takes a 1/4 cup of almonds and puts them in a bag and zips it up and puts it on the counter. And she does 5 bags for me, Monday through Friday. I don't prep for the weekends because I'm home. And she also does fruit. So like for grapes, she would count out 16 grapes for herself and for me. So like she would do 10 bags of grapes. And that keeps her busy while I'm doing it and they're not making a mess somewhere in the house being too quiet. You know how it is with kids. And then Knox has been really excited about chopping lately. So with I have this little Pampered Chef chopper that I got from Katie Temple, and so Knox slaps it with his hand and he chops all my onions and all the things, because I hate to chop, and like, I mean, obviously I'm standing right there watching him, but it keeps him occupied and it makes him feel like ownership over the fact that he helped mama cook. And I got that really great tip from my mother-in-law, who always involves them in all the baking that she does. And I love that so much. So I really enjoy doing that with them too. And so I've kind of incorporated that over the years. So I know somebody was like, what do you do with your kids? Okay, so I do that, but then also we take a Sunday nap. Is anybody else about that life? Like, I don't take the nap, but everybody else in the house takes that nap, you know? Good night, go lay down. You need to rest. It's Sunday, it's the Sabbath. Let's honor God. Let's take a nap. I don't know about y'all. I'm all about it. And so, yes, I'm planning out the meals. That's my third tip, okay? It's all about the planning and organizing. Who's type A, okay? I'm like not organized anywhere else in my life. If you know me, like my life is like, whoa, and I'm getting better about that. Like I'm being very intentional about being more organized and like put together. But in my meal prep, I am habitually organized, and it's because it is key. Like it is the key to all of this. So on Saturday, I meal plan. I sit down first thing Saturday morning, I get up and I sit down with a sheet of white printer paper and a pen, and I write menu and then breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. And so I will put all of that stuff on there. And I will pull up my Pinterest page. And then I pick what looks good to me that week. If I'm low budgeting, then I make sure I keep that in mind. Like, oh, this doesn't have many ingredients, or I already have most of these ingredients. And because I usually use about 20 of the same recipes, I usually have all of those things in my pantry in bulk because we shop at Sam's. So, just throwing that out there. Yes, so I also will print off the recipe if it's a new one because I'm not comfortable with it. If you have like an iPad in your kitchen, which my mother-in-law does, and it's super helpful, she's got like this little podium for it, and she pulls up the recipe right next to the stove, and that's like goals right there. But yes, so I use paper because I like paper. Some people just like paper, that's me. And so I will print those off. So once I plan my menu, I then take that menu and on a separate sheet of paper, I still have those recipes up on my computer or my phone or whatever I'm using. And so then I make my grocery list, and I'll put grocery list, and then usually I'll put the date. I save them. I'm weird like that. So like if you ever need some ideas, holla at your girl because I got you. But yes, like the grocery list. I hate the grocery store. Anybody else? Hate it. ClickList doesn't work for me. They never have what I need. Sorry, ClickList. It's just not working out. But like, I shop for myself and I love to go by myself because it's so distracting. There's so many things. ADHD, don't like distractions, grocery shopping. So I have to be super organized or I will A, forget something, or B, I will have no idea where I'm at in the store and what I need, and I will be at the back of the store, and then I'll come back to the front of the store, and I'm wasting all this time, and like, and it's overwhelming, and then I get anxiety. It's like, no, do not do that to yourself. Literally organize your grocery list. Next week, I'll be going over that in more depth. I go by section. So I organize my grocery list based off the recipes, and if I'm doing one meal for lunches, sometimes I don't have the mental capacity to do a different meal every day for lunch. Ooh, no thanks. So I will make one big batch of everything. For example, this week I did taco soup. Super simple. You just dump everything in a pot, stir it up, let it mix for a little while, put it in all the different containers. And so I usually set mine up like a little assembly line, scoop it out, pop the top, stack them up, put it in the fridge. Done. That's lunch. Okay. And then every day I just take one out, put it in my backpack, and go on. I know I'm weird. I'm 31. I still carry a backpack. Sorry about it. Actually, I'm not. Okay. So yes. So planning and organizing your grocery list, knowing what you're going to the store for. Make sure that you remember all of those little things like containers and bags like for snacks, and aluminum foil really helps on the cleanup time. Having a bag, like a trash bag, like on the counter open, because when I'm doing stuff with a lot of canned things like taco soup, then I'm opening a can and then I have to walk to the trash can, and that's a waste of time. So if I have a bag on the counter, then I just throw it in the bag, and I'm basically cleaning as I go. I also put the stuff in the sink and run water in it, turn it off, and go back to what I'm doing. And I also have gotten really good at multitasking, but that took a lot of years of practice. So I might boil eggs while I'm baking chicken and also making protein balls in my mixer. And I've got timers for everything because Dory, I will forget it, and then something will get burned, and then I have to start all over. And I don't want to do that. I'm trying to save time, you know, trying to simplify the things. So anyway, it has been such a blessing to me, meal prepping. And so I know some people are just not about that, and that's okay. But this is something that really helps me, and I just wanted to share it with you in case it really helps you. And so if y'all have any questions for me, drop them in the chat. I will answer them. I'm going to be here for a couple of, minutes. And then next week, I'm going to dive into specific areas. So if one of those areas like really spoke to you and you want to know more about that, again, just drop it in the chat. Let me know. I will make sure to discuss it next week. And I'm so glad that you guys joined me. This has just been such a great blessing. So in case we haven't met, I'm Kayla Dearborn. I'm a full-time working mom. I have 3 kids, 2 on earth and 1 in heaven. I have a little girl named Lily, she's 7, and a little boy named Knox. I'm a music teacher, and I love my job. And I love the people I work with. They're amazing. They uplift me, encourage me every day. I have a great family. But basically, I am just a woman trying to make it in this crazy world. So recently we experienced the loss of our daughter Jade, and I was inspired to share the struggle with other people and be completely transparent in this journey, in order to maybe bring light to a situation for someone else that doesn't have the great support system or community that I do. And in doing that, I would love to build a community of people who need to be uplifted or encouraged or motivated or inspired or whatever. And so this is like a safe place. So if this is speaking to you, if you are feeling this, if you are vibing with this, that's how the kids say it, go ahead and go to Katie Live and like and follow. I also have a blog. I share all kinds of stuff. I think I've got one coming up about ways to speak to children so that they will listen. So just random cool stuff like that. And so it's www.kaydealive.com, KAYDEALIVE.com. So anyway, I look forward to talking to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And next week we will talk more about meal prep.